All right, guys, so most professing Christians will easily dismiss the idea that Christians today need to keep the commandments of God. And the primary reason that they tell you is law keeping will not earn your salvation. While this statement is true, and I absolutely agree with it, does this free us from keeping the commandments of God? This question needs a serious look. After all, if we are all free from any law, wouldn't it mean that we can all just go our own way and be a Christian according to our own standards? Surprisingly, there are many indications in the Bible, especially in the New Testament, that commandment keeping is still in effect and should be observed by true and genuine Christians today. In the book of Revelation, we see that commandment keeping is something that he tells us to do. Here are the 3 scriptures from the book that reveals a lot about the characteristics of the end time church. Revelation 12:17, and the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went to make war with the rest of her offspring, who keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. All right, number 2, Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Revelation 12:14, blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city. With these 3 verses from the book of Revelation, it is very clear that one of the signs of God's people is commandment keeping. This does not sound like the commandments of God being nailed to the cross. Those people who keep on harping that the commandments are just part of the Old Testament should consider these verses. Most certainly, the book of Revelation is found in the New Testament. The truth is plain, simple, and very obvious. If you want to be considered as a Christian in God's eyes, you need to keep the commandments. Anyone can call a cat a dog, but that does not change the cat. A cat is always a cat. The same with Christianity. You can call a false belief Christian, but it is still false in God's eyes. Certainly, no amount of commandment keeping will earn your salvation. Nevertheless, it is also true that commandment keeping is required by God. God bless all of you guys. I hope that you guys can start to see the truth. We are to be following all of these laws, and it also talks about that in his here's the patience of the saint. Here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So it looks like it's not just a faith and a belief in Jesus. It is a walk of faith and obedience, guys. We need to have the faith and the obedience, okay? Because faith without works is dead.